You ever hear those stories where someone vanishes right out from under your nose? Like you're literally looking at them, you blink, and suddenly gone. Today's stories are honestly the most baffling examples I've come across, and they all have this one thing in common: kids disappearing from locked vehicles.
It gives me chills just thinking about it, not just because they went missing, but because sometimes they're found later in places it seems physically impossible for them to reach. And it's not just a one-off. David Paulides, this former detective, actually made it his mission to investigate these bizarre disappearances. His Missing 411 series has some of the strangest cases I've ever read.
Exactly, and what fascinates me is how often logic just falls apart in these stories. Like, there's no evidence of abduction, no tracks, nothing to chase. Let's dive into a couple of these cases, starting with little Lawrence Sullivan in Nevada. His uncle leaves him locked in a car in the middle of a barren desert, totally remote, and when he comes back just minutes later, poof, Lawrence is gone.
That's the one where they eventually found Lawrence 7 miles away, up a 1,400-foot cliff, right? And he was basically unharmed, except for a few scratches after days alone in freezing temperatures. The police brought in a top Native American tracker to even figure out where he'd gone. And still, nobody has a clue how a 3-year-old managed that climb. It's like something straight out of a mystery novel.
And it's not like this only happened once. Take the Duffy family at Lake Wenatchee. Their 2-year-old Jimmy disappears from a locked RV right in the middle of a busy campsite, with both parents nearby and even cats sleeping inside. No one saw a thing. The area was basically locked down, and every single person there checked out. Decades later, there's still zero explanation. What I keep circling back to is, if these kids didn't wander off and there's no sign of anyone taking them, what does that leave us with? And sometimes, like with Faye Crawford, they're even found alive miles away after pulling off some completely improbable feat, like escaping a locked car and trekking through the woods all night.
Faye's story drives me nuts for that reason. Let's be real, toddlers don't typically just stroll 3 miles barefoot at night through a forest in the cold. And she'd never even gotten her own car seat undone before that night. The case stayed open just because the police couldn't make any sense of it, but no answers ever surfaced.
Then you have the heartbreaking story of Gage Waymount, gone from a locked truck on a private fenced hunting property, only to be found by a volunteer in a spot that had already been searched. There were even odd canine tracks around him, but nothing matched. It's like every time investigators think they've ruled everything out, the mystery gets deeper.
Every case leaves you with that unsettled feeling like, how could this possibly happen? It's easy to speculate. Maybe some missed clue, some bizarre breakdown in what we think is possible. But honestly, none of the usual explanations fit. It's just unsolved, and maybe that's what keeps people coming back to these stories. There's always that sliver of hope someone will crack the code.
Funny enough, these stories always spark wild theories. Is it human error? Something supernatural? A weird twist of nature? I'd love to hear what listeners think, so if you've got a theory or even just a gut feeling, let us know. Sometimes, the best ideas come from outside the official investigations. I think what draws so many of us to the Missing 411 cases is that they remind us how much we still don't understand about the world. We think we've got things locked down literally and figuratively, and then something like this happens, and it's like the rules just don't apply.
Yeah, and it's not just about the mystery itself. It's about empathy for the families, the communities searching for answers, and the urge to make sense of the senseless. Even when the trail goes cold, people don't stop wondering or hoping for closure. That's why stories like these never really leave you.
Totally, and we'll keep bringing these strange, dark, and mysterious cases to light because sometimes the best we can do is keep asking the hard questions. Thanks for hanging out with us today and pondering the unexplainable. And if you have a story or theory to share, drop it in the comments or send it our way. Until next time, stay curious.
And maybe double-check those car locks next time you're out in the wild, just saying. See you all soon, and keep your eyes open for the unexplainable.